Welcome to this episode of Dear FiComm. This is FiComm's take on a Dear Abby series, but for financial advisors on all of your marketing questions. My name is Carolyn Dalle-Molle, and I am a head coach here at FiComm in the Advisor Marketing Bootcamp. So today I am creating this Dear FiComm video in response to Laura Rotter. Laura wrote in asking about her website homepage. Laura writes, Dear FiComm, I'd love some feedback on my homepage. I've been given advice to make my website specifically say that I work with women. I feel like it's already pretty touchy-feely, and most of my clients to date have been couples and even some single men. Anyway, my goal is to get more ideal prospects. By ideal, I mean women in midlife going through a big life transition who are willing and able to pay my average fee. It hasn't been that easy. Okay, Laura, this might be very relatable for other people watching here. Let's dive into some of the coaching things I would work you through. So, first off, within your question, you specifically say that you were given the advice to mention you work with women, but a lot of your clients are couples and even some single men. So, how do you feel about stating you work with women? And kind of explicitly stating that. Is it required that a prospect is a woman? That's going to be a yes or no answer. Is it required? If it's not required that they are a woman, perhaps this advice is something that you acknowledge but don't act on. Instead, it might be a moment to reflect on your ideal client. What is the essence of that person? So often in the boot camp, we're helping advisors work through, okay, you think it's this as your ideal client. Oftentimes, folks are mentioning demographics, but when it comes to really effective communication, that stuff tends to not matter as much as the essence of the person, their worldviews, their hopes, their challenges, things they're navigating, things they want in an advisor. These psychographics, okay? So reflect on who is really your ideal client and does their sex matter? That's the absolute first thing that sticks out to me in your question. You also then move on to saying your goal is to get more prospects and people who are going through a midlife transition and who can pay your average fee. So let's talk about your homepage, since that is the thing you wanted me to look at. Your homepage meets a lot of my best practices, okay? You have a nice welcoming headshot. You have a very specific differentiated tone, like the word choice and the spirit behind your brand is unique. You have a video that I can watch. However, the video might need an update. I think it looks like this video might have been made a while ago, although I love that it's there. And you even have social proof. So you've been featured in the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, CNBC. Another best practice you're following, but is an area for improvement, is the CTAs. You have 2 CTAs at the bottom, and that is an awesome best practice that I've been talking about for years. Offer 2 CTAs at the bottom of every website page, but those 2 CTAs should be very specific to the value of the viewer, like in their eyes, what is incredibly valuable to do next, and be offering 2 different levels of engagement with you. These are both content. What if I just still want to browse on your website? Your homepage is actually pretty short, so I probably, when I reach the bottom, I want to keep learning about you. So it might be like, meet Laura, get to know Laura, or what exactly do we do, and head to the services page. So think about those 2 CTAs and maybe just change one of them to be a different mindset of a viewer. The other thing in your question is about the fee and people who are able to pay your fee. What's interesting here is your brand is about abundance, right? True abundance. So when you talk about you want people who are willing and able to pay your fee, focus on those people when you're thinking about your website. Sometimes this is a mentality shift for the advisor. You might have had some phone calls with people who couldn't afford or didn't want to pay your fee, and your mind might be stuck on those conversations. Those are actually not ideal clients. Your ideal clients are able and excited to hire you. So focus on your ideal client. Don't get distracted by the non-ideal client. So when you think about that ideal client, how could you approach stating your fee, stating your value with an abundance mentality? That is your brand. So infuse it with abundance. What might that look like on the website? And lastly, Laura, I want to pose another kind of open-ended question to you that if I was able to coach you live, or if you were in the boot camp, we'd be able to workshop some of this. Is your website the problem? What does your website traffic look like? How much traffic, how many people are actually seeing it today? If you want more prospects, might you actually just need more traffic to see the website? So some benchmarks here are, do you have 200 people, unique people seeing it every month? If you have about 200 unique people seeing it every month, you might convert just one into a prospect meeting. Because in my research, about 0.5% conversion of a website viewer to a prospect meeting is a healthy conversion rate. 0.5%. Okay, so that means about 200 people are needed in order to book one prospect meeting. While I do see some updates that might be great for the homepage, it doesn't scream that it needs a ton of help. So I'm actually wondering if it's a volume issue. Laura, I hope these prompts have been helpful for you. I would love to coach you further if you want to check out the bootcamp and work with me over the course of 12 months on some of your marketing challenges. If anyone else watching found this useful, feel free to submit your question to Dear FiComm or check out the bootcamp. Join today to immediately access resources, coaching, and peer accountability to make sure you're getting your stuff done. Okay, thank you so much for tuning into this episode, and I will see you in the next one.